You move a little bit.
I think there's stuff.
You move out of the way, Willow. Hello.
Hi there. Welcome.
What's your move? Yeah.
It's a little jazzier.
I can't do it as well.
We'll jump into it. Hi there. Thanks so much for joining us. We have launched the Augment V4. It's kind of coming out of the vault. It's a really special piece that's been part of our legacy collection.
I'm trying to accessorize and figure out which our meta question. Are our audio levels good? Looking good? Awesome. I will wear that with the storm. Storm?
Yeah.
We'll probably need to explain like what that means.
Yes.
I felt weird writing that in the. I was like, people aren't gonna know what storm means.
Everything storm is made for weather. Clearly. You know, like in Marvel Marvel superheroes are always like plus. You know, like mutant ninja, X, Y. It's not. I'm gonna stop. Hi. Thanks so much for joining us. It's waterproof. Yeah. We are here to try on vests and to chat with you about new colors. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Show you the combinations that you're curious about.
Vests that are a tiny bit too small for yours truly.
Vests that are a tiny bit too small for Senior Jeremiah the Third.
Esquire.
Esquire, yes.
So what am I wearing here, Willow?
This is the Augment V4 in silk and steel.
Silk and steel. So the 3 colorways. Wait, so first question. How many of these have we released before?
This will be the 4th iteration of this vest, but we haven't released one since 2019.
What about these colors?
These are super limited edition. These are materials that we have very small quantities of. So this is a limited edition batch, sort of. When we saw these fabrics, we were like, yes, we've got to do one more run of the AV.
Yes, and these 3 are the only 3 that we don't have any other colors coming out. No. Okay. Yes. So just these 3. It's not like last week when we did the Ronin, we had the black garnet, but we didn't really show it.
Right. No, we will show all the colors.
Yes, all the colors.
All the colors.
All the things.
All the things. So this is like a very gentle kind of. It is a little bit floral. It's like a leaf and flower kind of pattern in a steely blue, which is of course where the name came from.
And we didn't show the back. I think in any of the photos, but the back is this.
It looks like this.
Yeah, it's the same. There's not really much going on there, so that's why. I think that's why we sort of neglected to show that in the photos.
Yeah, the backs of vests are really designed for be worn with the jacket usually. What's cooking? Hi. Cool.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
No, it's helpful.
Thank you. Turn this microphone back and then mute the other one. Or just turn it off, please. Sorry, we're trying new audio things. Thank you, David.
Always good to get feedback.
David came in. I'm assuming the bottom audio is working now. So we're moving next. Do we want to talk about?
Moving?
We can talk about that after.
We're moving our space to do live streams so that you'll have better sound.
The audio in here is not great. It's echoey. The light's good, but the audio's not. So we're moving it into a much better audio setup.
With boring fluorescent lighting, but it'll be fun. Yeah. We gotta pick.
I tried shotgun mic attached to my DSLR, so apologies if it. First of all, if you don't know what that means, apologies. But second of all, if it was really crackly and bad, I apologize for that. I was trying it, but we're back to our old trusty microphone that works okay. But
great.
Yes, we are good. Sorry for the interruption.
So we got some requests to try this design with a Ronin and a Hacker. Is that right?
Yes. Hacker that we may or may not be talking about yet.
We are restocking Hacker someday soon. That probably shouldn't be a huge surprise to anyone. It's one of our champions. We aim to keep those in stock. It's been a little slower than we'd like.
Yeah.
Because of fabric.
So this is Ronin that I had on.
This is the Eclipse or the Ronin.
I think I'm not sure, but I feel like for a lot of people the Storm vest will probably work the best with jackets because it I think has the.
You think so?
Well, I don't know. It's got like interesting contrast on the panels on the front. So in the photos, David wore it with the other jacket. he wore the Storm Eclipse, which is just black, but the fabric is.
It's hard to see. It's got these gorgeous velvety.
It's made from the same materials that Jonan, right?
So this part is the Jonan material.
Yeah.
And this up here is the same stuff that's in the Monster Maroon. It's a waterproof brushed Themis. Yeah. Probably you don't care about that, but the point is it's waterproof in 2 different ways. But the texture is really different, and it kind of makes those blacks pop.
The hacker is folded up in there. Would you run and grab that if you don't mind? Thank you. Sorry.
Here's a coat. Here's the
It's
vest.
somewhat in here. I will try them on for you guys, but I don't want to.
It's so hard.
I don't want to. Let me just hold them up first. I also have this shirt on underneath that doesn't fit very well, so I'm very constricted currently. So I'm just gonna cry all stream. Just put
That
that.
sounds so fun. We're all looking forward to crying with you.
You're welcome. Yeah. So these are the 3 side by side.
Yeah. These
So
are really
how did you explain that? How did you describe them before? You said
loudest, middle ground, subtlest.
yes.
So I don't think there's anything wrong with wearing a loud print and being a little flashier from time to time. There are situations where that is appropriate, is the right thing to do.
Yes, we have 2 of them for some reason, but if you would toss me a, is that 39? So look,
Do we
the
have
request. So this is what David was wearing in the photo. I'm not gonna say anything else about it today, but
Do we have any questions or comments from the?
So we have one question, and someone asked, what made you guys bring back the AV4 and not the AV5?
Good question. They're not mutually exclusive. I think they have a pretty different design aesthetic. The AV5 doesn't have as much combo sort of in its design. It's a little bit more unified in its material choices. And when we saw these fabrics, we just really got excited about the idea of doing the AV4. That's what it sparked for us.
so this is with a hacker in a heretofore unannounced color scheme.
With an unpredictably similar name to other black and gray things.
Actually, what's like a very
really different.
I was gonna say it's actually called Freshly Fallen Snow colorway.
No.
No, it's not.
We're
So
keeping the big secrets here, y'all.
the top
Like
stitching,
what color schemes will be.
the top stitching on the website said something.
Briefly said blue, and it isn't.
It isn't. It's gray.
It is.
Like a smoky gray. It's,
Yeah. In fact, they match really nicely. Yeah, same. That's actually the same thread.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you won't have long to wait to find out what this is, but I'm not going to tell you now. So, sorry.
No, it's the way of the world.
Okay.
So we have another question. Someone asked, can you see all of the 3 new colors?
Yep.
Yep. Oh, we just did that, y'all.
May. Yeah, I'll put them on it.
They do say, I'm sorry, I'm late.
No, you're fine.
These have, like, I will say that after we were just talking about it, after like these already seem quite popular, and we're only making
Yeah, there's about 100 been made. I don't know if it's exactly 100 or if it's like 98.
yeah.
But they're small, limited batch, and there are limited materials, so we can't make more of these
Yeah.
in
So
these fabrics.
it is really is something I
So
think
it's not
if you,
special. It's like a unique piece to add to your collection,
Yeah.
your wardrobe.
if you really like it, then jumping on it sooner rather than later, specifically.
Might be, and they're coming. So we were gonna pick them up on Monday on the way back from AwesomeCon. Brian and Key are out sleeping and resting and doing their laundry and whatever they need to do today to recover from what is it is. There is some exertion involved in running an event.
There's a lot of assertion involved. It sucks. It's not. It doesn't suck. It's really hard. It's a lot of like. It's exhausting.
It is a lot of energy. Yep. And so they are, but our van broke down somewhere on the New Jersey Turnpike. They limped their way back in it. It was safe, but they didn't get to pick these up. They were going to pick these up in New York on the way home, and they didn't get to. So they're being shipped to us. They should be here by the end of the week. It's a pretty quick turnaround, and then we will QC them and make sure they're perfect, and then send them out next week.
Yep. So they would have been ready a little sooner.
They would have been ready like today.
Unforeseen circumstances.
But yeah, bad luck.
So this
Band's pretty good.
is sorry,
This is
picture.
Gilded carbon wing.
Gilded onyx
wing,
wig.
because of the blue.
Yeah, so it does have.
Very subtly blue.
I don't know if you can really tell. If I get too close, I'm gonna be out of focus. Because I have a manual focus lens on. Not that that matters. I'm gonna stop talking about it. So this is like a bluish color instead of a. So we have black. My in focus. I don't know. We have.
Just keep doing it. I think that's the whole stream.
Move the little dot, the little red dot, onto this part, and then press this button right here in the center, and it should zoom in really close. You have to like mash the button a little bit. Did it work?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can see a very close-up view of it. Takes a second. Blue, gold, and like sort of reflective.
Yeah, good shine to it.
Top stitching. I don't know if my finger is in frame or not. And then
Black
Black.
ripstop.
yes.
Cotton ripstop.
You press it again to zoom back out. Sort of mashing. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good detail shot. So yeah, so this one is probably I would say that this one probably more than the other two would really stand on its own as, not that you couldn't wear all of them on their own, but like I feel like this would be one that you would really want to wear.
Take it to the opera.
Yeah, or like as itself, like as a thing, like
Yeah.
you wouldn't want to cover it up with. Because I mean, the stitching is really.
It's bolder for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see
it's-
every element of it.
More of an event. Yes. Well, if there are any other questions, we'd be happy to oblige.
We had one question from Instagram, and someone asked, what made you decide to do a waterproof material for the AV4 vest?
Yeah, it is kind of crazy to make a waterproof vest, but it just looks so cool. I don't think there's a lot more to it than that. It looks great, and it's yeah. It looks great. The textural difference is really appealing. It can be hard to see like on in the photographs. It shows, it's subtle. But in person, like there's this depth, which is really
Yeah, it's got
nice.
the texture difference is interesting.
Matte with sort of a brushed detail. Yeah, it's kind of an unusual combo.
Well, can you zoom in again once I get it on? Now that we have this feature figured out, maybe.
And what was the other question?
And someone asked, would there be more limited vests in the future with new kind of fabrics that we don't usually use?
Everything is possible, my friend. I can't say that they're already on the calendar right now. This is what we've planned for. But the world is full of opportunities.
Okay. So can you see my hand or up, down? So we have the waterproof fabric. That is the same as the
They're both waterproof.
similar
Yeah, so
to
this
the
is the Jonan material.
Yeah, and the Namahage. Then we have the sort of brush.
Themis. It's called Themis. Themis.
Themis.
IS, something like that.
Yeah, and then the same. So it gives us like interesting contrast, and then obviously the top stitching is. So I like this one. I think this is like
You would choose this color.
probably maybe I typically I don't know. I think that one as when I had it on. I think I liked the look more than I thought I would.
Mhm.
I don't know. I think the photos really. So David in the photos, if you guys have looked at the galleries on the page, he was wearing a white scoundrel shirt.
Yeah, it pops really nicely with
Yeah,
white.
with this one and with the gilded onyx.
Mhm.
But for this one, he was just wearing like a black T-shirt underneath, and then jacket on top of it. So
Yeah.
I have a black T-shirt on underneath this, but I think it would work really well.
All right. Yeah. I don't think you can go terribly wrong with either white or black shirts. In any case, I wouldn't worry too much.
And I'll grab it again. So I think this one probably, I don't know, I like the top stitching contrast on this.
You want to go all black all the time.
I mean, it's very like, yeah, I don't know. It's like formal and it gives this interesting like formal layered look. But then I like the jacket. Well, I haven't shaved in like 2 weeks. But then like the outer jacket is like not as formal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
So I
it's
think
definitely a mix of styles.
it's like a good contrast without being. And then I have like jeans and boots on too, as per usual. Yeah, I think it's like kind of a semi dressed up look without being.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't look weird or out of place if you went somewhere wearing this. Like, Dave and I were at a coffee shop, and
You just look kind of better than average.
he just looked like he looked better than other people that were there, right?
Yeah.
And it was like it's a pretty nice coffee shop.
And we have one last question. Someone asked if they usually wear a women's cut, how would they go about sizing women's cuts?
There are no satisfactory answers to this question. I'll just be really honest with you. We love making our women's products. We are going to be making more Parkers and women's. There will be other designs. Certainly, there are waist sizes for a women's cut or for a feminine figure. But there are no perfect answers. I would say you could certainly get a similar size or one up and take it to a tailor. There are a lot of things that can be done to adjust it. That's probably your best bet. I wish we could do everything in men's and women's, and as we kind of grow, we hope to be adding that back into our rotation more and more. I know that's not a very satisfying answer, but it's the best one I can give right now. We are fairly small, so to do a 100-unit run, and then we do women's, we tend to sell not quite enough to make it worth it.
And we'll say with vests, like you said, we're not saying anything specific yet, but we do have
There are some vests on the.
we have a lot of stuff
channel.
coming up
Yes,
in the
for
next
ladies.
little bit.
Not that all products are created equal for sure. So.
Yeah, we have some things that are specifically cut. We have some other things too we're really excited for end of the month.
As opposed to things we're like moderately excited
I hate
for.
this. I hate having it on. No, I'm kidding. That we have in a men and women's cut as well. That doesn't mean anything when I say that.
No.
You're not forgotten about.
We're working on it.
People of various body shapes. It's just
Yeah. We're small. We have to target sort of the main demographic the most of the time.
Yeah.
And I wish that, as we grow, we are working to incorporate more and more cuts and sizes. That includes like ranges on the ends of the sizes. I know there are sometimes people who don't fit either on either end, the smaller or the larger end of our sizing. And again, we would really like to be able to make things for as many as possible. We have to sort of pick some sort of average, which is unfortunately always kind of a crappy compromise. And it works really well if you're in that average size. And we hope to serve more and more people on those edges as we grow. But frankly, until our sales are at certain volumes, we can't do that responsibly. It's a very businessy answer, but
I think it's
it's authentic. It's like that's what's true for us.
yeah, it's hard too because like you look at something and you really really like it and then it's not in your size.
Yeah,
You literally
of
like it hurts physically
Yeah,
and that's not the
of course,
case.
of
And like we feel bad too. It's not like we're not gonna make this hot. Like it's not like we're doing
No,
it.
of course.
We really wish we could make some. We probably like
We would, if we could just make custom things
customs
for
for
anybody,
everybody.
we would. But it's just not a sustainable model.
yeah. It would
So
be
in order
sweet,
to make
but-
the cool things that we do make, we have to focus on some of the practical elements of sales and demographics.
yeah.
So
I've seen the same thing in like boots too, where like they'll only make men's sizes, which unfortunately only go down to like what would be a really large women's size.
Yeah.
And a lot of them just don't make them in that brand.
Yeah.
Like I think like Red Wing maybe. One of them I was looking at not too long ago. Like the smallest size it has is like an 8 in men's, which is like a 10 in women's, and like that's
Yeah.
not that big, but. And then you have to go to a different line altogether, so it's really just unfortunate.
yeah. I mean, small product batches have some real exciting strengths. Like we can do really unique, limited pieces with limited materials,
With
but
the
it also,
waterproof
of course, has limits, right? And we have to really choose carefully where we put that effort and dollars and time and all that stuff. Yeah, it's hot.
It is. Let me see that. Long sword.
The black and white Ronin. Yeah.
Black sword. Long sword.
The monster Ronin. That's
bet you
kinda-
guys are
that's kind of fresh.
But you guys are so jealous. We got Ronins for days here. Well, actually, no, we only have two
We have
of
the
them.
three
We
that
have
we.
two, yeah, I lied. 100%.
Wait,
Yes.
it's about 82 degrees today. Not too bad. So
Honestly, for here, it's very hot. But,
I'm like, it's not too bad. And Jeremiah's like, it's terrible.
earlier today, Willow was like, "Oh, it's gonna be a hot one today." I forget what it was. She was like, "Better get it done before it gets hot," and it's gonna be like 80 today.
It's New England. It's peony season. I don't know if you're into flowers. I'm into flowers. Probably not many of our audience are into flowers, but it's peony season. I have a giant bouquet of them. They're growing out of my mom's garden. It's been my highlight of the day.
It's new zipper. Oh, I got it. New zippers are like they're so. I was telling people at PAX like they're so heavy and they're so new.
Sometimes they get little like tiny pieces of metal between the teeth that have to that are part of the like when they cut them the zippers out.
And they're so heavy duty that like
Yeah.
you have to wear them in. I'm gonna freak out. I'm freaking out. No, I'm good. We'll just
It'll do.
one more tie.
Okay. Ready? We've gone backwards.
Okay, we're just gonna leave it like that. I'm just gonna turn it like this. The zippers are so heavy. That's one of the things that, like, when I first started working here and I started looking at our clothes, the zippers was the thing that really, like,
Really? The zipper stuck out?
and it's weird, right? Because the first time you touch them, they're like the heaviest zippers that have ever existed. I don't know where, like, we have like
zippers.
we have like a special place that we get them from.
No, YKK. It supplies like the world's most
Like-
zippers, but we buy a pretty heavy gauge because we.
Hephaestus is
Are
the
no
one making
nonsense.
these guys or something.
That was a deep cut. I mean, yeah.
Bitch.
Somebody described our products as overbuilt. I don't like that. They are kind of overbuilt.
Yeah, but like I like
From a
that term.
quality
Yeah.
perspective, they're like every seam is reinforced. Every little, piece was chosen
Yeah.
for wearability and durability.
Even when you first get them, they do take some breaking in
They do,
sometimes.
they do.
Because
Like a good pair of Doc Martens.
yeah, or
Yep.
any good pair of boots. Yeah.
Cool. Well, if there are no more questions, we will thank you for joining us on this stream for our AV4 launch. We have some other fun stuff coming out this week. Don't snooze on these. There's about 100, which means per size, per color, there might only be 2 or 3. And they're real pretty. Stay badass and stay safe out there.